A line from the film, "Some people aren't built to be happy, you know, but hey, at least we're making it through, right?" The majority of Ladybird scenarios will have you smiling ear to ear. It's a whimsical treat. And now we'll have another inspirational audio available from us right now to talk about the possibilities if we'll have Ladybird 2. Greta Gerwig makes her directorial debut with Ladybird, a movie that can blow everyone's mind because it unearths the humor and pathos in the tumultuous relationship between a mother and her teenage daughter, a relationship that is relatable to the lives of many mother and daughter. Without a doubt, seeing this movie will improve your life and give you the motivation you need to get through the day. But will there be a Ladybird 2? Without further ado, let's begin. It's more uncommon than a UFO sighting for a young coming-of-age movie to receive even one Oscar nomination. Greta Gerwig's vivacious directorial debut Ladybird, a love letter to our roving adolescent selves, completely won over voters, critics, and spectators. The titular heroine is portrayed by Saoirse Ronan as being equally curious, clever, and firmly selfish, perfectly capturing the rawness of being 17. A touching look at how our connections shape us, our ideals, and the incomparable beauty of a place we call home are all explored in Ladybird. The movie also validates what moviegoers have long suspected. Gerwig is unquestionably one of the most accomplished directors working today, confident and endearing in a way that is almost unmatched by her colleagues. One of the best movies of 2017, and undoubtedly my favorite, Ladybird is the rare film that manages to be affable, amusing, humorous, witty, and confident. There's still a lot to learn about things like losing one's virginity, plagiarizing tests, settling for a role in the chorus of a drama club production, dumping a guy who's obviously not interested in you, breaking up and making up with your bosom buddy, and realizing that smoking and drinking are not as enjoyable as they're portrayed to be. Yes, Ladybird does have a tendency to be episodic and overly obvious at times, as seen when our heroine decides to purchase cigarettes, a scratch-off lottery ticket, and a Playgirl magazine on her 18th birthday.
This is the Deuce? Yeah. It's a parking lot? Yeah.
Gerwig has transformed the well-known story of a teenage girl coming of age in Ladybird into something truly exceptional and meticulously studied, the kind of film that genuinely uncovers layers upon repeated viewing. In Ladybird, there are reflections on motherhood, dealing with financial difficulties, and how the future never quite turns out as we had hoped. But its most compelling and subliminal message is that lovingly attending to the people and the things around us is a form of grace that creates room for us to love. The story is primarily portrayed from Ladybird's point of view, and like the majority of high school seniors, she's primarily concerned with her personal problems. But throughout the year, a sequence of brief exchanges, documented in vignettes and glimpses, punctures her self-involvement. Everything that occurs, heartbreak, embarrassment, disappointment, and joy, is proof that other people experience similar struggles. Whether it's Julie's sadness over being excluded from Ladybird's growing social circle, or Ladybird's father's growing understanding that no matter how hard he tries to advance his career, it'll never be enough.
Oh my god, we ate all the cheese. Is it okay? Lots of cheese, very inside.
Although the rhythms of the school year mesh with the religious festivals that can't help but seep into Ladybird's bones, the film maintains a certain grace and trust. In the end, Sister Sarah Joanne is the one who helps Ladybird realize how she really feels about Sacramento. She comments after reading her college application essay that Ladybird obviously adores the city. She comments, "You write about Sacramento with such love and attention." Sister Sarah Joanne asks Ladybird, who replies that she simply pays attention. Don't you believe they're the same thing? Regard and affection? Ladybird appears to be only partially persuaded, but by the film's conclusion, it's evident that the lesson has been internalized. But do you feel as though watching this is sufficient? That like button needs to be smashed. These moments reach a very high level as cinematic music because they are made up of a variety of elements, are rich in subjectivity, and employ simple but daring editing techniques to evoke drama and emotion. These fleeting moments are the film's greatest thrills, more than the copious and generously imagined drama that gives rise to them, which prevents the film from having a sequel. They imply the broader and freer inspirations of the director's career, which, if there's any justice in the business, Gerwig is launched on. But is Ladybird's second part truly necessary? Will there be a Ladybird sequel given the great reviews the movie received and its ambiguous ending? Greta Gerwig, the film's writer and director, has been outspoken about how Ladybird was her own ode to growing up in Sacramento. While she isn't committed to making a sequel, she does want to explore more stories set in the state's capital. Despite certain parallels between Greta Gerwig and the movie, Gerwig's high school years are not replicated in Ladybird. The emotional universe of the characters, as well as the grace and whimsy with which she constructs it, are what make Ladybird so profoundly personal, not the setting. But if you smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, perhaps the heavens will hear us and Ladybird 2 will be made possible.
Do you believe in God?
No.
Why not?
It's ridiculous.
The risk of friendship is complicated by issues of self-image and self-imagination, open-hearted but unreliable blundering of youth romance, the unresolved tensions of family life, and the acknowledgement of its hard material practicalities to a radiant reconciliation with her family, her hometown, and herself. A delicate meter of social inequalities, and a desire for the pleasures and sense of freedom that money can buy, money that her parents don't have, come along with Ladybird's fine-grained observations. With all the previous sentences, a sequel would merely be another story added, losing all of its purposes. However, Ronan's State doesn't quite capture Ladybird's abrupt and unpredictable energy. The writing and drama convey Ladybird's volatile nature more effectively than the performance. In general, Gerwig favors clarity in Ladybird, whereas the movies in which she grew up flaunt ambiguity, impenetrable quirks of people, which is why John Cassavetes is a hero to his generation of filmmakers. Here she concentrates her emotions within strict boundaries, the better for them to ring out and harmonize with a piercing, poignant clarity. Despite the words and concept of Ladybird being bold, unique, and personally expressed, this texture and style are distinctly traditional. In essence, the majority of the movie is just footage of actors performing, though they do so with talent, care, inventiveness, and enthusiasm.
Did you feel emotional the first time that you drove in Sacramento?
It's heartening to learn that Gerwig plans to use Sacramento films to make a quartet, though. She started on the show, "I would like to do a quartet of Sacramento films. I'm definitely aiming for that number because of Ferrante's 4-book series, the Neapolitan books." Gerwig continued, "She wrote these 4 books mostly in Naples. Ladybird only covered a portion of Gerwig's cherished homeland of Sacramento," she said, "but there's still tons of different sections of Sacramento that I'd like to visit. I think it's a pleasure to be from somewhere even though I'm actually from there. My friends and family are still here too. I think I can communicate with it effectively by using some emotion." Given everything here, Ladybird fans may want to take note if they're hoping for a prequel. I sincerely hope that quartet will be made, but seriously, stoked for Ladybird 2. Check out these videos next.